Imagine this. You've just been selected to be part of a groundbreaking mission to Mars. The journey will take months, and once you arrive, you'll be one of the first humans to ever set foot on the red planet. But what if you actually lived on Mars? How would life look? Let's explore the possibilities of living on another planet. 1. Mars. The harsh environment Mars, often called the red planet, is a very different world compared to Earth. The atmosphere on Mars is incredibly thin, made up mostly of carbon dioxide, with only about 1% the density of Earth's atmosphere. That means no breathable air for humans. The temperature on Mars is extremely cold, with an average of about -60 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, but it can vary drastically. During the day, the surface might heat up to about 20 degrees Celsius, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, but at night, it can drop to 125 degrees Celsius, 195 degrees Fahrenheit. Living on Mars means you'd need to stay indoors most of the time, inside specially designed habitats that can keep you safe from these extreme conditions. 2. Gravity. A whole new world. Mars is smaller than Earth, and its gravity is only about 38% that of Earth's. So, if you weigh 150 pounds here, you'd weigh only about 57 pounds on Mars. Sounds fun, right? You'd jump higher and move with a sense of lightness, but this low gravity could cause some serious health issues. Over time, your muscles and bones would weaken because they wouldn't have to work as hard as they do on Earth. Astronauts would need to exercise regularly to prevent muscle atrophy and bone loss, a challenge that would become even more important if you were living there long term. 3. Air. A major challenge. The air on Mars is almost entirely carbon dioxide, with no oxygen to breathe. So, how would you survive? The answer lies in closed-loop life support systems. You'd have to rely on technology that provides a constant supply of oxygen and removes carbon dioxide from the air. Your habitat would have to be fully sealed to protect you from the outside environment, and you'd need to carry oxygen tanks with you if you left your shelter. 4. Shelter. Creating a livable space. Building a home on Mars is no easy task. Because of the harsh radiation from the sun and the lack of a protective magnetic field like Earth's, your shelter would need to shield you from dangerous cosmic rays. Scientists are working on habitats that could be built using local materials like Martian regolith, soil, or even 3D printed structures. These habitats would likely be buried beneath the surface to protect against radiation. But they wouldn't just be protective, they'd have to be sustainable, providing food, water, and oxygen for the inhabitants. Mars bases may also have to feature greenhouses for growing food, but that poses another challenge. Mars soil is toxic to plants and lacks nutrients. Hydroponic or aeroponic systems could be used, allowing you to grow food without needing soil. 5. Water. The key to survival on Earth. Water is essential for all life, but on Mars, it's not so simple. Mars has ice at its poles, but liquid water is scarce. Any water you'd need would have to be extracted from underground ice or gathered from the thin Martian atmosphere. You would also need to recycle water, as bringing enough from Earth is not practical. Closed-loop water systems would be used to purify and reuse water for drinking, cooking, and even growing food. In addition, Mars' gravity is so low that liquid water can't exist in large amounts on the surface, it would either freeze or evaporate. So, your water supply would depend on advanced technology and efficient recycling systems. 6. Transportation on Mars. Getting around. Since the surface of Mars is covered in dust, rocks, and uneven terrain, getting around requires special vehicles. Mars rovers and pressurized vehicles would be used to transport astronauts across the Martian surface. These vehicles would need to be designed to withstand dust storms, which can last for months and block sunlight, making travel difficult. Additionally, human-powered rovers and drivable habitats could help with exploration and movement between Mars' various locations, like the polar ice caps or the tallest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons. 7. The psychological effects of Mars. Living on Mars would be incredibly isolating. The distance between Earth and Mars means you'd be cut off from your family, friends, and the life you knew for long stretches of time. In fact, it can take anywhere from 6 to 9 months to get to Mars, and during that time, there would be no way to communicate with Earth in real time. Isolation, limited social interaction, and lack of sunlight can lead to psychological stress, and astronauts would need specialized training to handle these emotional and mental challenges. 8. The future of Mars colonization. Although living on Mars sounds difficult, it might not be impossible. Space agencies like NASA, and private companies like SpaceX, are already working on ways to get humans to Mars. Elon Musk has even talked about sending the first crewed missions to Mars as early as the mid-2020s. If colonization becomes a reality, Mars could become a backup home for humanity, a place for exploration and scientific discovery. However, that reality is still many years away. For now, we continue to dream and prepare for this grand adventure. Mars. A new frontier for humanity. Living on Mars would undoubtedly be an incredible challenge, but it's a challenge that could change the future of humanity. It would require advancements in science, technology, and human adaptability. But as we push the boundaries of what's possible, we might one day call Mars home. What do you think? Would you be brave enough to live on Mars, or would the risks be too much to bear? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating space exploration content.